CM Punk isn't going to WrestleMania this year. CM Punk confirmed on WWE Raw that he tore his right tricep during the Royal Rumble match on Saturday, and as a result will be out of action for the foreseeable future, including WrestleMania. He said that while WrestleMania 40 isn't in the cards for him, there's always next year. As he was cutting his promo, Drew McIntyre came out and eventually told Punk that he prayed for something like this to happen, as now he will find a way to get to the main event of WrestleMania and live CM Punk's dream again. Punk told him that his heart hurts more than his triceps. He will rehab, and when he comes back, he will headline WrestleMania. But before that, he would first target Drew McIntyre. McIntyre responded by attacking CM Punk, headbutting him, and stomping on his injured tricep. Sami Zayn then came in for the save as referees tended to CM Punk. It was reported earlier on Monday that Punk had torn his right triceps, putting his WrestleMania status into question. Punk had previously tore his left tricep at AEW All Out back in 2022. He returned from that injury for the debut of AEW Collision last June. Rewinding to Royal Rumble weekend, Triple H didn't have much to say regarding new allegations that led to Vince McMahon's resignation from WWE and TKO. During WWE's Royal Rumble press conference, Triple H deflected questions regarding a new lawsuit filed by former WWE employee Janelle Grant that accused McMahon of sexual assault and sex trafficking. John Alba was the first to ask Triple H what he knew about McMahon's conduct prior to the lawsuit. Here's what he had to say.
So I'm gonna do exactly what you would expect me to do here. Look, we just had an amazing week. I just said a 10-year, $5 billion Netflix deal. Rock joining our board. We just sold out the Royal Rumble with 48,000 people in the Tropicana Field. I choose to focus on the positive. And yes, there's a negative, but I want to focus on that and just keep it to that.
Then, when Brandon Thurston asked if Triple H had read the lawsuit, he replied that he had not, and again emphasized that he'd rather focus on the positives of the week for the company.
I did not. I think Cody mentioned it, that we all found out in real time when you were, and that's the truth. I'll go back to what I said before. This is an amazing week for us, and I just, at this point, I don't even want to get bogged down in the negatives of it. I just want to focus on the positives and where we're going. And we're at the most exciting time of the year for us. We're at the most exciting point, to me, business-wise, I think, that we've ever had. I think Cody might have said I don't exactly remember how he said it, but the best positioning of this company since the Attitude Era. I've been through that era. I understand what it's like. I feel like we are in the middle of something that, while we might not be able to put our finger on it right now, 5, 10 years from now, we're going to be saying, like, wow, what a time that was. I want to focus on that.
Cameron Hawkins of The Ringer then asked Triple H what procedures are taking place to ensure that employees feel safe and are not being taken advantage of.
I'll give you the most generalized answer that I can. Everything possible. Yeah, that is a very important thing to us, a very important topic to us. It's as simple as everything possible.
Earlier in the press conference, Cody Rhodes was asked by Nick Hausman about the allegations, agreeing with Hausman's statement that a dark cloud hung over WWE's big week of news.
I know as far as the news is concerned, we were finding it out and reading the same thing that you guys were reading. And you said a dark cloud, certainly. As far as TKO, Nick Khan, the board, clearly took it very seriously, acted immediately, and looking at the future, you know, I don't know the answer to that, and I think somewhere is probably a basic tenet of just this crew, more than ever from a roster standpoint, is very family. never seen anything like this. Most of the time, wrestling locker rooms are fighting, talking trash about each other, making fun of each other, sandbagging each other in the ring, all that nonsense. This crew is very team-based, and perhaps that's the ingredient, is everyone looking out for everyone, being accountable. And I know, for me as a performer and competitor, I've been through dark periods in our industry before. And it might sound cheesy, but it's very reinforcing, if you're in my position, that it's a time when, hey, we got 50,000 people out here. I want to give them something else from this weekend that isn't a terrible situation, terrible news. And I think we were able to do that. Obviously, as more news comes out, we'll be seeing it just like you do. Thank you.
McMahon resigned from WWE and TKO on Friday, while at the same time denying the allegations made in Grant's lawsuit, calling them a, quote, vindictive distortion of the truth. The Garcia twins have commented on allegations regarding both Vince McMahon and their father-in-law, John Laurinaitis. Nikki and Brie posted a statement on X on Monday, writing that the sexual assault and sex trafficking allegations are something they do not condone, no matter who it is. John Laurinaitis married their mother, Kathy, in 2016. Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis were named in the lawsuit released last Thursday by Janelle Grant, who accused both of sexual assault and sex trafficking. Laurinaitis was fired by WWE in 2022 after his name also surfaced in hush money payments McMahon gave to multiple women, including Grant. The Garcia twins' contract with WWE expired last year, and as a result, are no longer allowed to use their former Bella Twins name. Switching gears to the Women's Royal Rumble that had a lot of news come out of it. Naomi made her return, plus TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace and Jade Cargill made their in-ring WWE debuts at Saturday's Women's Royal Rumble match. After walking out of the company in May 2022 over creative issues, Naomi made her return as a surprise third entrant in this year's Women's Royal Rumble match on Saturday, lasting until the final 6 competitors of the match, ultimately won by Bayley. TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace entered 5th for the Women's Royal Rumble, wearing the TNA Knockouts title bout to the ring. Here's what she had to say about being in the Rumble. How did you feel about your performance in the Rumble?
It went really well. Like, all the girls they made me look incredible. And thank God for that, because like they're there. They're there, and the WWE fans can see them every week if they wanted to. But I only have one chance. Like, I felt like my career was riding on that. Like, that's just how it felt. And for all the girls to just make me look as good as they made me look, it was incredible.
That moment with Naomi, former Knockouts champion, you guys hug, and then you guys start just going at it. What was that even like? Like, was it deja vu? I don't know.
Well, first of all, the reaction we got was so cool. I didn't expect like all the people to kind of know our history. So the fact that when we were standing off initially, they had that reaction, we hugged, they had a reaction, and then when we started fighting, they had a reaction. It was so perfect. It was chef's kiss. That was so freaking cool. And the fact that we wrestled, 2 weeks ago in front of a sold out crowd for TNA, their comeback show, for the Knockouts World title, everything was just so perfect.
Jade Cargill also made her in-ring WWE debut in the Rumble as a 28th entrant. Cargill lasted until the final 3 of the contest. Jade is a former TBS champion in AEW and was heralded free agent acquisition by WWE in September 2023. Here's what she had to say.
Last night you had your big moment, your debut, your official in-ring debut in the Royal Rumble. I want to start off by asking you what those feelings were like, what the emotion was like.
I mean, I was just ecstatic. You know, the locker room showed me nothing but love. I was a little nervous, but once I heard just the sound of the WWE Universe, I felt like I was undeniable.
It was amazing when you went out there and you had that moment with Nia Jax and you eliminated Nia Jax, and when you lifted her up, you did something. Not only did you lift her up, but you also posed. Yeah. Talk to us about that.
Well, of course, I always pose. We know I always pose. I think Nia Jax is one of the strongest women in the locker room, you know? So for me to go out there and just dominate her and eliminate her, I felt like I was doing something big for the women's division.
You certainly were. And what about that face-off that you had with Bianca Belair?
I know. I mean, we're going to see what happens. I think I would rather work with the great Bianca Belair. I think she's phenomenal. I think she is a great representation for the African-American community. And I just, you know, we're going to make magic. Whether we work against or together, we're going to make magic.
Additionally, Liv Morgan made her return from injury in the Rumble as a 30th entrant and was the final elimination. Liv had been sidelined since July with a shoulder injury. Here's what she had to say.
Entrant number 30 and the Royal Rumble. Liv, what was that moment like to come out in the 30th spot and get the reaction that you got?
I mean, it's been a journey the last 6 months. It's been a fight. It's been a struggle. So to come back at the Royal Rumble in the coveted 30 spot, I was very happy and I felt honored and just happy to be back doing what I love, doing my thing. Came really close, but I am happy for Bayley nonetheless.
It was absolutely awesome to see you grab that moment and grab that spot. And a lot of people were really rooting for you, Liv, to win that Royal Rumble. You know, you have a pretty interesting Royal Rumble history.
I do. I mean, last year I came very close as well. I was also runner-up last year when Rhea beat me. And I think, like, Natty and I are the only superstars in WWE to be in all 7 women's Rumble match. So I am a little bit of a veteran in this match. So maybe next year will be my year.
Hey, you never know. It definitely could be. I mean, like, you won the Money in the Bank briefcase. You became champion, too. Let's not forget about all of that.
Thank you.
NXT's Roxanne Perez and Tiffany Straten were the other Royal Rumbles entries that are currently not part of the WWE's main roster. Here's what Tiffany Straten had to say about appearing in the Rumble.
Be able to go out and come out in the Rumble. What was that experience like for you?
It was a crazy day, as you can tell by my voice. It's gone, but I was so nervous all day. And when I went out there, all the nerves went away, and I just did what I knew. And it was amazing. It was everything that I could ask for.
You were amazing, by the way. Just like that moment with you and Bianca where you were pulling her braid, I was like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. What was that like?
You gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, I saw the braid and I grabbed it, and it worked for a couple seconds, but in the end, it didn't.
And last but not least, Pat McAfee has returned to the WWE commentary team full-time and will be calling Raw every week. Pat McAfee kicked off Monday's WWE Raw with an entrance and joined Michael Cole at the commentary desk, where Cole announced that he and McAfee would be calling Raw together each week going forward. Cole and McAfee called SmackDown together weekly from April 2021 until September 2022, when McAfee left his position to join ESPN's College Game Day football coverage. McAfee signed a multi-year contract extension with WWE in the summer of 2022. This is a wrap for this episode of The Latest. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.